Hi everybody, Becky Strayer here from Naya Clinics, and in today's video I will be going over how to lose the quarantine 15, or a lot of us are also calling it the COVID-19. Either way, it's the extra weight that a lot of us have gained over the past several months. Now I think we can all agree the past several months have been especially stressful. There's been a lot of discomfort, a lot of worry, and a lot of boredom. And so with that, a lot of times we cope by eating or, baking more cookies, baking more cakes to cope. And what do we do with that now? We eat it. And so many of us are left after these past several months not feeling the greatest about our bodies, feeling like we kind of let ourselves go a little bit. Now it's important to remember that physical health and mental health go hand in hand. Think about the last time you felt especially anxious, maybe. That you might end up with a stomach ache or a headache, or when you were really hungry and you felt irritable and angry. So a lot of times they work off of each other. And so in this video, I will be giving you 4 mental health skills that you can use towards your physical health and to get back into better physical health as far as when you eat and how much we're eating, how we're eating. And so keep in mind that we're not perfect, we're human, and so this is going to take some practice, but with these mental health skills, we can get our physical health back into check. So the first one is to identify what is the difference between hunger and appetite. So hunger is an experience that we have that's a survival instinct for us. That having a body, I need calories, I need energy. And so we experience hunger, and a lot of times we can tell we're hungry by different body experiences. So is my stomach growling, or is it a little bit tight? Maybe I do feel a little bit more irritable or fatigued. Those kind of things that can help us tell that we are hungry. Doing a body scan is a great way to tell if there's hunger. Now, the flip side of that is appetite. And appetite is a psychological experience that we have. A lot of times, appetite comes with feeling sad or bored, having a social experience and everybody's around, let's go order pizza. Things like that, where we're eating not out of hunger, but out of maybe other emotions or situations where food is kind of deemed as appropriate to cope or to add to that experience. Now, most, if not all of us, have eaten because of appetite instead of hunger. So when we're trying to watch our weight, trying to get healthier, we want to pay attention to that and pay attention to, am I truly hungry? Am I eating because of hunger? Or am I eating out of something else? And is there a healthier way for me to cope with that other thing? So if it's usually you hang out with your friends and you go out for food, instead let's go to the park and go for a walk. Something like that, where it doesn't always have to be centered around food necessarily. And that way we can better identify, am I eating because I actually need food right now and am hungry, or am I eating because I have an appetite? Keep in mind too, we don't want to go to the other extreme of it with hunger, where we are so hungry and not eating soon enough with that hunger response that we are now willing to eat anything and everything in sight. So listen to your body. Again, that takes time, it takes a lot of practice, but the more we listen to our bodies, the better we can kind of go with what our body needs and honor what our body's trying to tell us. The second skill is to eat mindfully, which is personally my favorite skill out of, I think, every mental health skill. So mindful eating, one of my favorite ways of doing this is through a piece of chocolate. And for me, I love Dove chocolate, so I'll usually use that one. And before you even eat it, before you dive in, pay attention to the foil. Look at the color of it. Look at the texture. Feel it in your fingers. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Are there words on it? What does it sound like, even with the foil? Or as you unwrap, what does the foil sound like? Can you smell the chocolate? And when you're tasting the chocolate, taking your time, taking bites of it, what do you notice, the texture-wise, the flavor, the smell? How would you describe it to someone who's never had chocolate before or had that kind of chocolate before? How can you tell the difference between Hershey or Dove? Those kind of things where we're really experiencing the whole experience of eating, using all 5 senses. And so a lot of times we are distracted when we eat because it is something we do every day. And so trying your best to not eat when you're distracted and really pay attention to the food, pay attention to how you feel eating it, and to all the senses going into it. It can make the food a lot more enjoyable, help you pay attention better to what you're eating and how you feel as a result. Um, but it can also slow down how much we're eating because we're paying attention then too to, am I full now? Is my body satisfied? That kind of thing. The third step is to use positive self-talk. Now what I mean by that is that I think a lot of us have been there where we ate too much or ate something that probably isn't the best for us, and then we go into that shame mode. We feel disgusted, embarrassed, and then that just feeds that cycle of, okay, well now I have this emotion, now I feel bad about myself, how do I cope? I want to eat more. And it's just this vicious cycle. And so instead of doing that and feeling discouraged, try using positive self-talk. Pay attention to that negative self-talk, that discouragement probably isn't working and isn't really helpful. It just adds to that shame. Whereas by using positive self-talk, so even little mantras like, just do the best you can, it's okay, tomorrow's a new day, something like that, it can help us feel more encouraged and can remind us that we're human, it's okay, and we can keep doing our best as a result. So use that time and acknowledge, like, hey, I want to do better, and that's okay. How can I grow from this? But also not beating ourselves up about it. The last step is to intentionally exercise. So what I mean by intentionally, to actually do it purposefully and try. We aren't putting a time limit on it. We aren't putting calories to it. We just want to get up and get moving. So the reason we do it this way is so that we aren't setting this expectation that every day I need to go out and run for 30 minutes. So what happens is when we don't meet that expectation, we feel discouraged, we stop doing it altogether. Whereas the goal is just go for a walk, however long you want. If it's 5 minutes, you succeeded. And you can keep building on that. We can keep feeling encouraged. Remember I believe it's Newton's law, where it's a body in motion will stay in motion. So an object in motion will stay in motion. A body at rest will stay at rest. So the more we're in motion, the better we are likely to keep our body moving, keep staying physically active. And remember that physical activity is also going to be really beneficial for our mental health, especially during this time. Right. So do your best to try these 4 steps. I hope everybody's staying healthy and safe, and I look forward to seeing everybody again soon. Take care.